सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ मौनव्याख्या प्रकटितपर ब्रह्मतत्त्वं युवानम् वसिष्ठान्ते वसत् ऋषिगणैरावृतं ब्रह्मनिष्ठैः। आचार्येन्द्रं करकलितचिन्मुद्रमानन्दरूपम् स्वात्मा रामं मुदितवदनं दक्षिणामूर्तिमीडे। वटविटपि समीपे भूमिभागे निषण्णम् सकलमुनिजनानां ज्ञानदातारमारात्। त्रिभुवनगुरुमीशं दक्षिणामूर्तिदेवम् जननमरणदुःखच्छेददक्षं नमामि। चित्रं वटतरुर्मूले वृद्धा शिष्या गुरुर्युवा। गुरोस्तु मौनं व्याख्यानं शिष्यास्तु छिन्नसंशयाः। निधये सर्वविद्यानां भिषजे भवरोगिणाम्। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये। निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। चिद्घनाय महेशाय वटमूलनिवासिने। सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। अंगुष्ठतर्जनीयोगमुद्राव्याजेन देहिनाम्। श्रुत्यर्थं ब्रह्मजीवैक्यं दर्शयन्नोऽवताच्छिवः। श्रुत्यर्थं ब्रह्मजीवैक्यं दर्शयन्नोऽवताच्छिवः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने। व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यं निजान्तर्गतम्। पश्य Pashyannatmani mayaya bahirivod bhutai yatha nidraya. Yasakshat kurute prabodha samaye svatmanamevadbhayam. Tasmai Shri Gurumurtaye Namayidam Śrī Dakṣināmūrtaye. Vishvam darpana drishyamana nagari tulyam nija antargatam. The first drishtanta of Vishwa, a reflection in the mirror. Here the mirror is the place or the adhisthana, as it were, where the reflection takes place. And in the mirror we see the reflections, not of just one entity, but Acharya says Vishwam, Nagari, a Nagari is as it were seen. And this Darpana, the Vishwa is compared to the reflected city in the mirror, and the Darpana is compared to Atma. So there are certain amshas, aspects, because of which the mirror and the reflection are compared to Atma and Prapancha. And what are these aspects? The Darpana, the mirror, is independent of the reflection. Similarly, Atma, Brahma, Ishvara is independent of this Prapancha for its existence. But the reflection in the mirror depends purely on the mirror. To be the Pratibimba, for the reflection to be, there has to be the mirror. Without the mirror, there is no reflection. Anvayavati Reka. The mirror is there, reflection is there. No mirror, no reflection. Therefore, the Pratibimba, the reflection, is purely a dependent entity. So too is Jagat. For its being to exist, the isness of the Jagat is Brahma, Atma. Like even the clay is the is. Because of the clay there is a pot. So, Prapancha is purely a dependent entity, like the Pratibimba. Alright. The very Satta of the Jagat is because of is Brahma, Sat Brahma. And that independent Satya entity alone is Satyam. Any dependent existence cannot be Satyam, because minus the dependent entity on which this dependent entity exists, minus that there is no dependent entity. Therefore, the dependent entity is subject to Badha, sublation, negation. So what is subject to Badha is not a Satyam. Abaditam Satyam. Satyatvam Nama, we saw in the Panchadashi, 3rd chapter. Abadhyatvam is the definition of Satyatvam. Satyatvam Nama Abadhyatvam. What is subject to Badha? Sublation. Sublation or negation. And sometimes destruction also. The pot is subject to destruction. And then the certain things like Pratibimba, dream, etc. Pratibhasika, like dream, etc. subject to, they are subject to negation. The truth is not there at all. Sarpaha nasti. The Rajju Sarpa is subject to negation also. And certain other things which are vyavaharika are subject to badha, like our ghata. Ghataha vastavikaha na. Ghata is not a real entity, not a paramarthika entity. It is only vyavaharika, nama rupatmaka. So what enjoys purely the status of being seen, being transacted with, being useful, right? These are all vyavaharika. In the case of vyavaharika entities, that is entities which enjoy vyavaharika satta, the perception continues even after badha. Right? Like even after I understand that wave is water, the waveform may continue. The form does not disappear. And whatever the function of the wave, right? It dashes against a rock, etc. It comes to the beach. This will continue. The usefulness continues. The vyavaharika usefulness continues. But the truth value of it is understood now. The truth is only water. That is what. Then what is a wave? We understand that it is mithya, vyavaharika, kalpita. This is understood. So the Jagat also, on analysis, with the help of the Shruti Upadesha, we understand that it is Bhada Yogya, it is subject to sublation, and therefore it is not Paramarthikam, it is Vyavaharikam. By saying Vyavaharika, we do not dismiss its being seen, its being useful for Vyavaharika purposes. Nobody can dismiss that. This Prapancha is Pramana Praptam. By, as Swamiji pointed out the other day, Pramana Prapta through the 5 Pramanas: Pratyaksha, Anumana, Arthapatti, and then Upamana and Anupalabdhi, etc. Right? Not etc. These 5. By these 5, this is Upalabdha. What is shown as existent by one valid pramana, the other pramana cannot dismiss it totally. Shruti cannot dismiss what is pratyaksha prapta. That is not the scope of Shruti at all. Shruti only looks into what is beyond the scope of pratyakshadi. Okay? That is Atma, as Swamiji said, adrishta, all adrishta, punya, papa, swarga, punarjanma, Atma, Atma Swarupa, Brahma, Ishvara, these are all Shruti, Pramana, Gochara. Alright. Shruti only talks about that. Now the truth value of this is also Shruti Gochara. We assume that what is Pramana Prapta is Paramarthika. It is not so, it need not be so. Even the Rajju Sarpa, one may think that it is Pramana Prapta. I see a snake. The snake is Pratyaksha. It is Pratyaksha to me, one may think. But on analysis, what is seen is not the snake. Snake is imagined there, but what I see there is only the rope. Rope is what I see. And onto the seen rope, because of my memory and then my moha, etc., I project a snake there. So snake is not Pramana Prapta. Rope is Pramana Prapta, right? But onto the Pramana Prapta rope, I impose a snake value to that rope. That is the mistake. Snake is not Pramana Prapta there, right? So what is seen on that Pramana Prapta, I impose. Therefore, the Shruti does not dismiss the very perceptibility of what is Pratyaksha, but it only points out that it is Bhada Yogya. What is Bhada Yogya is not Paramarthika, and what is Paramarthika is Brahmatma alone. That it points out. Then how do we account for this? When what is there is Brahma, Ishvara alone, Atma alone, then how do we see? We say that is Kalpita, Adhyasta, right? it is adhyastha, it is kalpita. It is satisfactorily explained, thoroughly explained, without going against, without rubbing against any pramana whatsoever. Shruti does not go against any pramana, pratyaksha or anumana. Cannot go also. Does not go, it cannot go. Therefore, here the truth value is our own question. Why do we have to know the truth value of this prapancha? So that we know what is paramarthika. We know the distinction between kalpita and akalpita. Why should we know that? We should know that because there lies our purushartha siddhi. Our purushartha siddhi is there in knowing the truth value, and therefore alone we look into the truth value of this prapancha. Therefore, here prapancha is mithya, kalpita. Like the darpana, the reflection, the pratibimba in the mirror. This is the similarity. Darpana is true reality. The reflection is only dependent. Abhasa we can say, or it is mithya. Similarly, Atma is the truth, Satyam, and the Prapancha, Jagat is mithya, kalpita. And then next similarity. In the Pratibimba there is variety, there is plurality, many objects in the reflection. In fact, we can see it as a composite picture. Okay. There is a thing moving, there is a thing not moving, it's all there. So, there is plurality in the reflection, and also there is movement, change happening in the reflections. Like suppose a person is moving, that reflects in that movement reflects in the pratibimba also. Whereas the mirror is not moving at all, is stationary, fixed. Similarly, Atma is nirvikari, whereas the kalpita prapancha is nana, with many in number, varied, and there is plurality. And at the same time, the vikara, the changes belong to the pratibimba, not to the mirror at all. Atma is eka, the pratibimba is nana. Atma is nirvikari, pratibimba is vikaravat. Then, next similarity, in spite of any guna or dosha, any plus or minus, any merit or demerit, belonging to the pratibimba, that belongs to pratibimba only, not to the mirror. Suppose there is a dirty object, very dirty looking object appears in the mirror. The dirt or the dirtiness does not come to the mirror at all. We assume that the mirror is clean now. Okay? But the dirtiness of the reflection does not come to the mirror, because mirror is asanga, as it were, in relation to the reflection. Similarly, I, the Atma, I am Shuddha, I am ever pure, ever free, I am asanga, like the mirror. The mirror is asanga, the mirror is Shuddha, Atma is asanga, and then Atma is Shuddha. These are the aspects, that's all. This alone are the aspects. We may think of a few more, but this much alone is the Drishtanta Darshtantika Yoho. Between the Drishtanta and Darshtantika, the similarities. So Prapancha is like a Darpana Drishyamana Nagari Tulyam. Take the mirror away, there is no reflection. Discount, for the sake of analysis, understanding, discount the presence of Atma. It cannot be. But then, for the sake of analysis, discount, assume if there were no Atma, if there were no Brahma, Ishvara, there is no Prapancha. So the truth of it is only Brahma, Atma, Ishvara alone. So, Vishwam Darpana Drishya Mana Nagari Drishyamana Nagari Tulyam. And it is Nija Antargatam, obtaining within the mirror. The reflection obtains within the mirror. As we saw earlier, the depth really it's a really amazing thing, like perceived depth in the reflection. Okay? Infinite is the depth possible in the reflection. Okay? The virtual depth, they say in a virtual image. Right? It's not a real, it's not that an object is there, but then it's a virtual thing. But then the image is that enjoys seeming depth in that. There is no depth at all in there. Amazing. The stars, billions of kilometers away inside the mirror. Okay, as much the distance between us and the star, so much distance is there between the mirror and the reflection. There, billions of kilometers into the mirror. No distance, zero distance, right? Zero distance, yet seemingly billions of kilometers, miles away. Amazing. Magic. It's a magic. A mirror is a magic. If only we look at it. It looks simple, but then look at it, there is a seeming, there's wonder, there is chitram, vichitram is there. Adbhuta is there. Alright. So, it is, Vishwa is within. Within means here it is not in Brahma, in Ishvara, there is Brahma, there is Vishwa. There are two viewpoints, two prakriyas when we talk about the relation between Prapancha and Brahma, Prapancha and Atma. There are two prakriyas. I talk about them very briefly. We have seen it earlier. I am repeating it. One is the Drishti Srishti Vada. The other is Srishti Drishti Vada. Vada means a methodology of presenting, unfolding certain aspects of what is being discussed so that there is an understanding. A prakriya helps in the understanding of what is presented. In the Drishti Srishti Vada, it is said that you see something because it is there. It is there, therefore you see. If it were not there, you can't see that. You won't see that. Suppose there is a gata. The gata is, and therefore I touch it, I see it. Similarly, the prapancha is. Okay? Without getting into the question of reality, right? Without getting the question of the reality, this vada, drishti srishti vada, srishti drishti vada, does not get in, they do not get into the question of reality, but only isness. Alright, it is a prakriya. Remember that no prakriya is complete. It is from a standpoint, okay, valid standpoint. So, the gata is, therefore only I can see. Gata is, therefore I see. Alright. This is the drishti srishti vada. Now the other side of this is the Srishti, Drishti Srishti Vada. This says, how do we know that there is a gata? How do we know? Without me, the seer, being there, how, or any seer, there has one sentient entity which can see the gata. Minus me, the perceiver, the seer, drashta, minus me, there is no seeing the pot. The pot may exist, but how do I know that? How do we know that the pot exists? Or the pot may not exist also. How do we know that the pot exists or does not exist? Without me, the drashta, being there. I see, therefore it is. Okay. Here, the existence of the pot is not proven in that way. The pot exists. If there is a clay, part may exist. But then we say the part exists has to be known. Has to be known. We say Lakshana Pramanabhyam Vastu Siddhi. Vastu Siddhi. That a thing exists, and this is how a thing is. These two aspects. That a thing exists is known through a pramana. Without a pramana, we won't know whether a thing exists or not. Okay. So that the part exists is revealed because there is a seer. Without any seer, the existence cannot be established. Vastu siddhi, establishing that a thing exists by pramana. Pramana means a pramata is there, a seer, the user of the pramana is there. That means I am there, drashta is there. Therefore, it is validly said that the pot is because I see. Okay. I see, therefore the pot is. Remember, both are not complete prakriyas. They have an anyonya ashraya. Right? I see, therefore the pot is. The pot is, therefore I see. Both are mutually dependent. They are not independently complete prakriyas. They are not complete by themselves. And I see, therefore the pot is. Okay, I see. Therefore I play a role. The necessity for me, the drashta, is there to establish the existence of a pot. This is how things are. This is how things are. Now certain people, in addition to my seeing the pot, there is a jiva srishti also. My pot. Okay. Not my pot. This is my pot, and this is my pot given me by my grandmother. Okay, so there is an extra value is there, which is not a physical value. It's not there in the. It's not pot gata, but my buddhi gata. This is dear to me. I love this pot. Why grandmother gave me? So this is buddhi gata. Jiva srishti is there. Okay. All right. So the drishti srishti vada and srishti drishti vada, both aspects are there here. The prapancha is seen because I, the drashta, I am here. Me being there, the vishwa, the prapancha is perceived. So in a way, I establish the existence of the world. Right? Remember, this is not a complete prakriya. Not a complete, only a partial standpoint, only valid. Yes, it's not invalid, it is valid. Remember, also, we do not go outside of the boundary of the prakriya. Okay? For that, we will have to take the help of other prakriyas, other methodologies, other ways we have to take to. All right. So, nija antargatam, it obtains within me, the drashta. As I see the external world, in my mind there is a matching image, matching cognition is there, which is called as pramitihi, prama or pramitihi. When I use a valid pramana, in my antahkarana there is a matching image, matching cognition. From this standpoint of drishti, srishti, prakriya, all I see is only the mental image. That's all. Yes. Right? When the eyes, with the help of the mind, when the eyes see an object, there is a mental modification is there, vritti is there, and that alone I perceive. The buddhi cognizes the vritti alone, or the mind cognizes the vritti alone, or I, the pramata, cognize the vritti alone. So all that I see is only manovritti. Yes, who says it is not so? But is it very subjective? Is it like a dream? Is it like my figment of imagination, fantasy? No. Right? It is pramana prapta. Right? I don't have the image of gata, the cognition of gata, without the operation of pramana here. Valid pramana here. Pramana is valid anyway. So, a valid cognition it is. Therefore, what I see is only prameya. Prama alone I see. The pramiti alone I see. If I do not, if the pramana that I use, if it is defective, or if the pramata is defective, then there's a defective cognition, like hallucination, etc. Dream, right? Not dream, hallucination, etc. It's a defective cognition, jnanam. That is not a valid cognition because it is subject to sublation, negation. Therefore, here what I see is as a pramata, what I see is only the prapancha, which is nija antargata, obtaining in me alone I see. All perceptions, all feelings, right? All ideas, all understanding, all evaluation, it all happens within nija antargatam. As the drashta, from the drashta's standpoint, the prapancha is antargatam in me. And what is the truth of this drashta, seer, atma, shuddha, chaitanyam? And therefore, atma antargatam, this is. And look at it as an external entity from the standpoint of srishti, drishti, vada. Right? Srishti is there and then there is drishti. That is the prakriya. Srishti is there and then there is a drishti of it. From that standpoint, where is this world, this prapancha? Right? The prapancha is in Ishvara. Like the wave is in water, the gata is in clay, so too the world is in Ishvara, Brahma. Again, antargata, in Ishvara, in Brahma. Right? Therefore, this nija antargatam from both standpoints, from the standpoint of srishti and then drishti, vada, the prapancha is Ishvara antargatam, Brahma antargatam. That is said as nija antargatam. Nija means one's own, itself, oneself. From the standpoint of this other view, that is drishti, srishti vada, drishti is there, cognition is there, therefore the validity of srishti, right? From that standpoint, this prapancha is nija antargatam, atma antargatam. Is it okay? Understood? Okay. So from the srishti drishti vada, it is Ishvara antargatam or Brahma antargatam. From the standpoint of drishti, srishti, that is the atma antargatam, nija antargatam. Clear? Some say yes, some say no. Okay. Not simple. I am using only new, maybe the phrase, the terminology may be new to you, that's all. Where is the world in me? Where is the world in Ishvara? That's all. Okay. Both are valid. Where is this prapancha? In Ishvara. From the standpoint of this, srishti is there, therefore I see. Okay. Where is the world? In Ishvara, in Brahma. And I am the seer. Without my cognizing, where is the object? Where is the perception? Where is the validity of its existence? Where is the siddhi of the vastu? I am there. And where is the world? In me. That's all. Right? Atma antargatam, nija antargatam. Nothing is left. Okay? Everything is covered. Okay? Both are covered. Nija antargatam, alone. Now, a question comes here. Earlier we mentioned that the prapancha is kalpitaha. That means its truth value is mithya. We saw the three major reasons why people give the truth value to this prapancha. Right? We saw three reasons. One was continuity. I see today, I see tomorrow also. That is continuity. What has continuity is real. This is a conclusion. That it is real is a conclusion. That it has continuity is vyavaharika, yes. But then, therefore it is real is a conclusion. Continuity is pramana prapta, but reality, that is paramarthika satyam, is not pramana prapta. I repeat, that the world enjoys continuity is pramana praptam. Yes, yesterday I saw the pot. Today also I see the pot. Yes. And it is the very same pot because the pratyabhijna, there is this pratyabhijna, recognition is there. So continuity is pramana prapta, right? And discontinuity also. Yes, suppose yesterday the pot was here, today the pot is not here, then there is the cognition of discontinuity. Alright. So that is pramana prapta. But that it is satyam is not pramana prapta at all. This is a conclusion without pramana, without vichara. Continuity. People assume, people come to the conclude that the world is paramarthika because there is continuity. Okay. Then the second reason was intimacy. Intimately I experience. Therefore, anything that I intimately cognize, feel, experience is paramarthika. That also is not true. If suppose I hallucinate, then my hallucination is very, very intimate at the time of hallucination. Very intimate. Very, very intimate. As intimate as I see the pot, I touch the pot, I use the pot, I relate with the pot, okay? As intimate as it is. That is why the people who hallucinate, very difficult for them to come out of that, because it is intimate. So, intimacy is a people think what is intimately experienced, okay? That is real. It is not a reason to conclude that it is real. Intimacy, what is intimately seen may be real, but intimacy is not the reason for reality, okay? Intimacy is not the reason for to conclude reality. Reality here means paramarthika we are discussing, not mithya. And the third reason is usefulness. What is useful is taken to be paramarthika. Here again, that is not so. As we see, all the 3 points, continuity, intimacy and usefulness, all the 3 factors are there in dream also. In dream also, all the 3 are there. There is continuity in dream, there is intimate experience, in the dream, and there is usefulness in dream also. Yet we know that the dream object, the dream world, the dream experience is not real. It is only pratibhashika. It is not satyam, we know. And when the very same factors are there in Jagrat also, then if we conclude based on these factors alone that the prapancha is satyam, then it is to be questioned. It is to be questioned. When what is continuous and intimate and useful in dream, and it is understood as not satyam when I wake up, what is the reason for me to conclude? What is the validity of my conclusion that based on continuity, intimacy and usefulness that I conclude Jagrat Prapancha also is Satyam. We say it is not there. The Swapna Prapancha is not in the Jagrat. The Swapna object is not in the Jagrat. Therefore, Swapna is dismissed. By the very same yardstick, Jagrat is not, then Swapna also. Right? Jagrat Prapancha is not in Swapna Prapancha. Then how do we conclude that Jagrat is Paramarthika? Is very useful. When? The pot is useful. Where? When? In Jagrat. The pot doesn't exist in my dream at all. Doesn't exist. Where is the question of continuity, usefulness, etc., etc., intimacy? It's not there at all in my dream. So how do we conclude? What is the reason for us to conclude that Jagrat Avastha is Satyam and Swapna is not Satyam? When Swapna is not Satyam, Jagrat also by the same footing, it cannot enjoy the conclusion that it is Paramarthika. But then there is a reality difference, right? Jagrat is Vyavaharika, yes, and whereas Swapna is Pratibhashika, yes. But it is Vyavaharika, Jagrat is Vyavaharika, natu Paramarthika. The vast majority of people, humanity, conclude that Vyavaharika is equal to Paramarthika, full stop. There is no other further inquiry, analysis, understanding into this. One person asked, okay, is there a Vyavaharika something? Is there a Vyavaharika Satta? Asked. I have to think about, I see you, you see me. This is Vyavaharika. Where is the question? Where is the question of this? Where is there Vyavaharika? But then behind the question, is there a Paramarthika Satta other than Vyavaharika? That was the intention of the question. The person thinks that what is Vyavaharika alone is Paramarthika. Okay? That is the question. Oh, this is the meaning of the question. The question was, is there a Vyavaharika Satta? The meaning of the question is there a Paramarthika Satta? That is the meaning of the question. Other than this Vyavaharika, what is there is only Vyavaharika. I see you. That's all. Vyavaharika is equal to Paramarthika. Not only great learned people, even saints also hold this view. They are saintly in their character, in their mind, in their compassion. So they are very saintly. That is totally accepted. Yet, when it comes to the understanding of the truth value of it, they may err. Not all saints, but some do. Quite a number of them do. They take this Vyavaharika alone is Paramarthika. We are not critical of them for their saintliness, but then we are not even criticizing the person. We are looking at the idea, the conclusion, the truth. That alone we are looking into. Many great learned people, the saintly people, right? Whom we worship, whom we respect, yes. We respect them for their saintliness, for their learnedness, yes. But when it comes to the question of Satyam, we have no room for charisma there. No charismatic, Swami says, no charismatic approach, no charisma here. We go by the Shruti Pramana. Great scientists, they hold the view that Vyavaharika alone is there. Great scientists. Here we have a Pramana for understanding the Paramarthika, Satya, Mithya. We have a Pramana here, Shruti Pramana. And each Pramana is independent. It stands on its own legs. It has its own scope of things to reveal. It reveals what is within its scope. Shruti is an independent Pramana. Like Pratyaksha, Anumana, they are independent Pramana. What Pratyaksha reveals, Shruti cannot talk about it, does not talk about it at all. Shruti cannot validate that there is a sun in the sky. It is Pratyaksha Pramana which points out the existence of sun in the sky, not the Shruti. Shruti has no scope to say that there is a sun in the sky, where the sky is blue. Shruti has no scope at all whatsoever. Shruti does not do it. Even if you find some sentence in the Shruti, it's only Anuvada. What the Pratyaksha reveals is Anuvada. There is Anuvada. There is just restated in the Shruti. That is all. That is, there is curd. Is there? Dadna Juhoti. There is a sentence. May one offer curdled milk in the Agni in one yaga. Now, is Dadi established by Shruti? That there is curd, Shruti proves. Okay. Shruti is the pramana for the existence of Dadi, curd. No, that is Pratyaksha Prapta it is. And Shruti only mentions what is Pratyaksha Prapta. It's only Praptasya Anuvadaha. It is not a Pramiti. It is not a Pramiti given. Dadi is not a Prameya, object of Shruti at all. Every Pramana has its own scope, exclusive scope. The Gochara is exclusive. One Pramana is not proven by another, nor it is dismissed by another. Sureshwaracharya points out, Svavishaye Pramanani Shurani. Very adept, capable, sufficient in revealing their scope, what is within their scope. Svavishaye, with reference to its own Gochara, its own field, Pramanani Shurani. They are adequate, they are capable to reveal. Therefore, here Shruti does not get into the details of Vyavahara, okay? But it points out that what is Vyavaharika is not Paramarthika. There is a difference of a reality question it is. That Shruti points out. Vishwam Darpana Drishyamana Nagari Tulyam, that Shruti points out. Shastra points out. Okay. Why it is pointed out? As I said, it is connected to my understanding that Prapancha is Mithya, Drashta is Mithya, Shrota is Mithya, the experiencer hood is Mithya. That is necessary for me to understand that I am one, I am Purna, I am limitless. Why do I need to know that I am limitless? Right? Because my understanding that I am limitless is the Purushartha here. Purushartha Siddhyartham Shastra Pravritti. The Shastra Pravritti is only to make one gain the Purushartha, namely the Parama Purushartha here. Purushartha Siddhyartham hi Shastrasya Pravritti. Bhashyakara points out in the Taittiriya Upanishad Bhashya here. Why? What is the need? What is the reason why the Shruti talks about all this? Only for Purushartha Siddhi, for my purposes, accomplishing my goal, my end, what I am seeking. Without that, can I get this Purushartha Siddhi? I won't be satisfied. I will not feel adequate. I will not feel adequate with the answers otherwise. Therefore, I seek Purnatva, limitlessness, and therefore Shruti points out that. And it is not that because I seek, Shruti tells it. No. Shruti tells what is. It's a pramana. Okay? It tells what is. That's all. And as an intelligent person, I need to see, I need to tune myself with the Shruti so that I understand what the pramana says. At the same time, my Purushartha is addressed, answered. Okay? Shruti is a pramana. It tells what is, how it is. That's all it does. And I understand Shruti. I have pramana pravritti, right? I use the pramana, take the pramana, so that my Purushartha Siddhi is there. My Purushartha Siddhi is by no other pramana, by no other means I can have this Purushartha Siddhi. Parama Purushartha Siddhi is not there. So I am a matlab wala, okay? I mean business. In Tamil there is a proverb saying, there is this Brahmana or somebody, okay, has a choti, has a tuft of hair. When this shakes, it has a meaning, okay? It has a purpose. Even the shaking of the tuft will not be purposeless. There will be a purpose. There is a meaning in it. Very valid meaning in it. Soriyan Kudumi, chumma adadu. Kudumi is the tuft, choti. Okay? When it shakes, there is a purpose. Even that has a purpose. Okay? So, I am a matlab wala. I am Sholian. Okay? When I look into Brahmavida apnoti param, okay? That's a meaning. Okay? I am a meaningful person. And my life is meaningful. All that I do has to be meaningful. I am an intelligent being. Therefore, why I connect to Shruti, why I look at it as a pramana, why I see it as a pramana? Because in seeing that, that is the what Shruti says, I understand. In understanding that is my Purushartha Siddhi. Therefore, a perfect match. And I see a perfect match only here. Okay? Only in the Purushartha Siddhi and Shruti the Pramana. Here and here alone, there is a perfect match. Okay? Elsewhere, there is always an imperfect match. Okay? Some imperfection, some mismatch will be there, may be there. Alright. So, Nija Antargatam, coming back. Okay? Nija Antargatam, Vishwam, Darpana Drishyamana Nagari Tulyam. I repeat, we are not dismissing the perception. We are not dismissing continuity. We are not dismissing the intimacy of experience. We are not dismissing the usefulness of objects. We are not dismissing the perception of duality, plurality. We are not dismissing. Yet, what we understand, the truth of them is not vyavaharik. That is, it's not satyam. It is kalpita, mithya, anirvachaniya. That's all it is. It is not paramarthika. When even the drashta is not paramarthika, the thinker himself is not paramarthika, how can a thought can be paramarthika? Right? The drashta himself is not paramarthika. And what is paramarthika then? The drashta is because of me, the Chaitanya. Right? The drashtutvam is known to me. That I am a drashta of something is known to me. That is drishya. Yes, from a standpoint, the drashtutvam itself is drishya. Okay? Known to me the self-evident principle. Chaitanya. Then anubhavita, I am the experiencer of it. The experiencerhood also is revealed by me. It's known to me. Anubhavita, anubhavitritvam, the experiencerhood also is drishya in a way. And it is not the drik. And who is the final drik? What is the final drik? Chaitanya alone. Right? Therefore, the thought, the thinkerhood itself is kalpita, is mithya. And how can the thinker being there? There is a thought. Okay? Experience is there, then there is an experience. When experiencer, thinker himself itself is mithya, how can there be a thought be satyam? Right? A thought be satyam. A thought is not paramarthika, it is vyavaharika alone. Alright. What about Shruti? The Shruti also tells you are Brahman. You understand as a vritti alone. And the vritti is there in the knower. Okay? You are the knower of Brahmatma. And you have a Brahmatma vritti. And that vritti also is not paramarthika. Yes, it is not paramarthika. Brahmakara vritti is not paramarthika. The vritti is not paramarthika. But the truth contained in the vritti is paramarthika. Okay? The vastu that the vritti reveals, I understand, is paramarthika. The vritti is not paramarthika. Aham Brahmasmi. The vritti is not paramarthika, but Brahma is paramarthika. Okay? Atma is paramarthika. That Atma Brahma is paramarthika. But Aham Brahmasmi vritti is not paramarthika. It is vyavaharika only. Shruti, nowhere it tells that Aham Brahmasmi vritti alone is paramarthika. Every vritti is vyavaharika alone. Pramana vritti is vyavaharika alone. But what is revealed through or by the vritti is paramarthika. Okay? This discussion comes in the Brahma Sutra also. Bhashyakara points out. We write some lines, funny lines. Okay? On the board, some funny lines are there. Shrutyartham, it said. Shrutyartham, it's a word, it's sound, okay? Word is a sound only, and that sound is represented in some funny character, that's all. Funny line, funny picture, it's Shrutyartham. The script is not language. Language is spoken, is heard. Sound is the language. And the script is only a representation, that's all. This is not language. That's only a representation of a language, that's all. Any script for that matter. So, Shrutyartham is a word spoken and heard, and that is represented in the form of a line. Even though that is not the word, yet it reveals the word. It reveals the word. Yes. Enough. Purpose is served. That's all. A vyavaharika purpose is served. Okay. And then a picture of an elephant is drawn on the board. That is not an elephant. It's not an elephant. The child asks, Mummy, Daddy, how does an elephant look like? They show a picture on the TV or on the some picture, or they draw a sketch. Okay, this is elephant. That is not an elephant. That's only a sketch. That's all. Some lines. That's all. In a particular way. But then the child understands. Okay, that's enough. Adequate for understanding. That is enough. Purpose is served. Okay, that's all. So, Shruti word itself is not Paramarthika, but what the Shruti reveals is Paramarthika. What the Upanishad reveals is Paramarthika. Every thought is Mithya. Every idea is Mithya. The thinker is Mithya. Okay? The ideator or the one who has the idea is Mithya alone. Okay. The truth of the thinker, the truth of the experience is Atma Chaitanya. That is what is pointed out here. Alright. Darpana Dasyamana Nagari Tulyam Vishwam Nija Antargatam. Alright. Now here a question. What is the mirror here? You say mirror reflection is alright. Prapancha I see. Where is the mirror? Okay. What is the mirror for the Prapancha? Atma, Brahma is the mirror. It's pointed out. And then if here I see the world outside. Okay, I see the world outside here. But then you say Nija Antargatam obtains within. How is it possible? That is answered to the next Drishtanta. Yatha Nidraya. Nidra here refers to dream. Yatha Swapne. Nidra here refers to Swapna. Like in dream. In dream all is inside, but then I see as if it is outside. Okay? There is a Swapna Prapancha that is thought of, that is seen as existing outside, but it is only in me the dreamer alone, okay? In me the consciousness alone. So like in a dream, Bahir Udbhutam Iva, it is said. Okay, we'll leave it here. 11:30 there will be Bhandara. Are you game? You want to miss the Bhandara or miss the class? Okay. Okay? Okay, then we'll have 11:30 we'll meet again. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti